toes touch behind you, they don't have to. Begin to ease your hips back towards your heels. Feel free to shift and move here however you need to, so you can begin to create space. Perhaps close your eyes. You can gently rock your forehead side to side here. And then let yourself just be here in this space. Let yourself feel however it is that you may be feeling this morning. Let yourself feel the sensations in your body. Just noticing any areas where you might feel any tension or tightness, and then maybe begin to breathe into these areas, or feel free to shift and move. We'll unite our practice together with 3 cleansing breaths. First, open mouth, exhale to release your breath, let it go. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill all the way up to the bottom of your lungs. Then open mouth, exhale to release. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale to fill up. Imagine creating space around your heart. Feel your rib cage expand, lifting the space between your shoulder blades. Then open mouth, exhale. One more time, inhale, breathe into your fingertips. Feel your breath flow all the way down to your toes. Then open mouth, exhale. Sealing our lips, engaging our Ujjayi breath, creating a slight constriction in the back of your throat, engaging your whisper muscles. With the lips sealed, begin to inhale through the nose. Nice, slow and controlled. At the top of the inhalation, keeping the lips sealed, continue to exhale through the nose, creating a sound and a sensation, kind of like you're fogging up a mirror. Let your next inhalation be even deeper, even slower. Then let your exhalations be even longer, maybe even a little louder. Taking one more deep breath here. Exhale, slow breath out. Inhale, begin to pull yourself up to your hands and knees. Take your time here, maybe lift up onto the elbows and the forearms, and then press palm into palm. And then take as much time as you need to move freely. Begin to smooth any rough areas, any rough edges. Let them begin to soften. Perhaps keep the eyes closed or even soften the gaze, bringing your awareness within the 4 corners of your mat. Take another complete cycle of breath. Then we'll meet back in our neutral tabletop position. Wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Spread your fingers wide. You can either tuck the toes or actively press the tops of your feet down. Take an open mouth, exhalation to release your breath. Inhale to your cow pose. Drop your belly, lift the chin and chest, tilt the tailbone high. Exhale, tuck and round, find your cat, chin to chest. Lift the space between the shoulder blades, pull the belly towards the spine, even curl the tailbone under just a little. Now begin to flow here, your own pace, your own breath. Beginning to create space within the spine, creating flexion and extension, and then once again, feel free to include any movements that would help you create space, maybe in the hips, maybe the shoulders. You can press your hips back towards your heels, or maybe sway the hips side to side. Taking this opportunity to connect your movement to your breath. Take another complete cycle, then we'll meet back in our neutral tabletop position. Wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Take an open mouth, exhalation to release your breath. Inhale. Actually walk your hands forward just slightly. Spread your fingers wide as you unstack the wrists from underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes if they're not already tucked, and then point your index fingers forward so there's a slight outward rotation of the palms. Now open mouth, exhale to release our breath. Inhale, find your bear pose. Hover your knees. Let your head drop. Cat the shoulders. Actively press the mat away from you. Engaging the core. Inhale, pull your belly towards your spine. Exhale, send your hips up and back for your first downward facing dog. Spend some time here to let the shape begin to feel familiar. Maybe pedal out the feet. You can sway the hips or maybe take some deep knee bends. Let the crown of your head hang heavy. Find space in the back of your neck. Maybe step the feet to the wide edges of your mat. So moving from intuition and instinct, letting yourself let go of tradition, let go of any rules, and let yourself just experience and let yourself feel. Meeting back in our downward facing dog. As you inhale, pull your belly towards your spine. Feel free to soften through your knees. Press your heart back and down as you open up through the chest. Inhale, rise up onto your toes. As you exhale, swivel your heels to the right and then go ahead and press them down. Rooting through the inner arch of the left foot, knife edge of the right, as you breathe into the left side of your child's pose, your downward facing dog rather. Breathing into the outer hip, the side body. Inhale, lift the heels, bring them back to center. As you exhale, pivot the heels to the left and then drop them down. Press your hips up and back, send your heart space back and down. Maybe even play with flexing the toes. Rooting down through the inner arch of your right foot, the knife edge of the left. Inhale, spin your heels, lift them back up to center. Then as you exhale, begin to energize your heels towards the mat, finding a little bit more sensation in your calves and your hamstrings. Inhale, rise up onto your toes. Bottom of your exhalation, gaze forward. Bend your knees nice and deep. Begin to tiptoe your feet behind your wrists for your ragdoll, your standing forward fold. Separate your feet hip width distance apart or perhaps slightly wider. Our hamstrings are probably pretty tight this morning, so bend your knees generously and then focus on the lower back. Let the upper body completely release, let it hang, and then find any variation that you would like with the arms. Maybe tend the palms, find a gentle sway. Maybe cradle the elbows, and then let the crown of your head hang. So maybe tuck the chin slightly. You can let the ears hang between the biceps. Begin to spread your feet wide, or spread your toes wide rather, feeling the bones of your feet separate, feeling your foundation firmly rooted so you can let the upper body hang heavy. Take another deep breath here. Exhale, release your hands to the mat if they're not already there. Begin to toe heel your feet together. Let your big toes come to touch. Heels are just a sliver apart. Soften through your knees, tent your fingertips underneath your shoulders, curl your chin toward your chest, gaze up toward your belly. Take an open mouth exhalation to release your breath. Inhale, slowly begin to roll up. Let yourself rise as you stack one vertebra over the next. Let your fingertips hang in space and then begin to lift through the crown of your head. Take some time here to do something that feels good for your shoulders. Maybe circle them one or both. You can interlace the hands behind your back. Maybe circle out your neck, dropping one ear towards one shoulder, whatever helps you create space in the shoulders, the chest, the upper body. Take another complete breath. Take a deep breath here. Then exhale, release your arms by your side. Spread your fingers wide all the way to the webbing. Rotate your palms outward so your pinky fingers roll forward and your thumbs spiral behind you. Building our Tadasana, inhale, lift all 10 toes, spread them wide. As you exhale, gently place them back down. Begin to shift your weight forward, back, side to side. Feel your big toe, your pinky toe, and the inner and outer edges of your heels. Maybe even gaze down, and then see if you can create space between your toes. Lifting the gaze back up. Inhale, squeeze your calves. As you exhale, lift your thighs away from your knees. Inhale, draw your lower belly, pull it up and in, engaging your Uddiyana Bandha, your core lock. Maybe even feel yourself grow a little bit taller. And then exhale, curl the tailbone under, neutralize your pelvis as you stabilize through your hips. Inhale, sweep the arms high, spread your fingers wide. Exhale, draw your hands down to heart center. Relax through your shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart to meet your thumbs. Open mouth, exhale, press your thumbs back into your heart. Building our Sane flow together. Inhale, circle your arms high, Tadasana mountain pose. Turn your pinky fingers inward. Relax your shoulder blades down your back. Firm your thighs. Inhale, lengthen through the rib cage. Exhale, forward fold, either swan dive or hands can melt through heart center. Soften through your knees as much as you need to. Release your fingertips, tent the palms, and then pause here for a moment as you let the crown of your head hang. Maybe creating a little bit more sensation in the hamstrings. Spread your toes wide to help you balance. As you inhale, lift the belly away from your thighs, creating that space so that as you exhale, maybe your head can fall just a little bit more. If you feel comfortable, maybe invite your forehead to move towards your shins. Feel free to keep the knees soft as much as you need to, taking the stress away from your lower back. Inhale to your halfway lift, flat back. Pressing your palms actively into your shins or your thighs. Micro bend the knees. Lengthen through the crown of your head as you pull your chest forward and down. Draw the belly up and in. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, release your fingertips. Fold, hinge from your hips. We'll do that 2 more times, nice and slow. Inhale, halfway lift. Press your palms into your shins or thighs. Exhale, release the hands. Let your head hang as you fold. 1 more time. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Gaze straight down to the back of your neck stays long. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, stepping our feet back, meeting in our first high plank, top of a push-up. Spread your fingers wide, rooting down through your knuckles. Now spend some time here, spreading the toes wide. Maybe rock the hips side to side as you lift through the heels. Lengthen through the crown of your head and then find engagement as you lift the belly up and then actively press the mat away from you, building strength in your arms. We'll create a little bit of movement here. Inhale, shift the weight forward, roll onto your toes. Press the heels back as you exhale, keeping the thighs firm, maybe stretching through the calves. 2 more times. Inhale, rock the weight forward, maybe roll onto your big toes. Exhale, send your heels back, maybe press into the palms. 1 more time. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, rock the weight back, press through the heels. Now inhale, shift the weight forward, roll onto your toes. Toes or knees, exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway down. Let your elbows raise the rib cage. Flip to the tops of your feet. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. See if you can lift the ears away from your shoulders. Pull the shoulders down the back. Take another deep breath here. Exhale, child's pose. Let the knees open. Press your hips back towards your heels as you breathe into the upper back, maybe stretching through the arms. Inhale, rise up, hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Adjust your feet. Spread your fingers wide. We'll take 3 breaths here. Inhale, press down through the knuckles of all 10 fingers. As you exhale, root down through the pads of your thumbs. Inhale, find length in the arms. Press the mat away from you. Exhale, begin to roll the shoulders away from your ears, rolling the eyes of your elbows forward. Moving on, inhale, rise up onto your toes. Bottom of your exhalation, gaze forward. Bend your knees nice and deep. Lightly step, hop, or float. Top of the mat, let your big toes come to touch. Fan the toes wide. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. Soften through the knees. Inhale, slowly begin to rise. Let yourself roll up. Sweep the arms high. Take as much time as you need to. Then exhale, draw your hands to heart center. We'll put all of that together flowing one breath to one movement, and we'll keep the repetitions from the forward fold to the halfway lift, creating a little bit more space in the back of the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms high, lift the gaze. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale to your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, let your head hang. 2 more times. Inhale, half lift, draw the belly towards your spine. Exhale to fold. 1 more time. Inhale, halfway lift, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold, plant your palms, step the feet back, high plank, top of a push-up, finding our movement here. Shift the weight forward as you inhale, roll onto your toes. Heels back as you exhale, stretch through the calves. 2 more times. Inhale, rock the weight forward. Exhale, press the heels back. 1 more time. Inhale, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, send your heels back, stretch through the calves. Moving on. Inhale, rock the weight forward. Exhale, chaturanga, toes or knees. Let the elbows graze the rib cage like a reverse tricep push-up. Flip to the tops of your feet. Inhale to rise. Find your upward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Exhale. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Adjust your feet. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth. Exhale. Moving on. Inhale. Rise up onto your toes. Bottom of your exhalation. Gaze forward. Bend your knees nice and deep. Lightly step, hop, or float, top of the mat. Let your big toes come to touch. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. Soften through your knees, weight in the heels. Inhale, begin to roll up to your Utkatasana, your chair pose. You can start with placing your hands on your hips. Your toes are light or even lifted. As you inhale, squeeze your ankles, knees firmly together. As you exhale, roll your inner thighs inward towards each other. Inhale, lift the chest slightly, pull the belly up and in. As you exhale, curl your tailbone under, then maybe draw the weight back into your heels. Reaching the biceps next to ears, roll your pinky fingers inward. Take a deep breath here. Exhale to airplane the arms, fly it back. Roll your thumbs towards the sky. Straighten the legs. Inhale, burst up, maybe lift the gaze, press down through your feet. Chair pose, exhale, airplane the arms. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, drop the toes, lift the gaze. Exhale, chair pose, airplane the arms, sweep it back. 1 more time. Inhale, burst up. Now exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step or float, chaturanga, high to low. Let the elbows graze the rib cage, actively press the mat away from you. Inhale, flip to the tops of your feet, pull the shoulders back, upward facing dog. Tuck your toes, exhale, send your hips up and back, use your core, downward facing dog. Adjust your feet, take a deep breath here. Exhale, slow breath out. Moving on, building our sun bee flow, step your feet together in your down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, bend the knee open and stack your hips. You can stay here, pointing the right knee towards the sky, stacking the right hip over the left, or maybe find circles with the toe, or big circles with the knee and thigh. Let your head hang. Dropping your right shoulder to meet the left, press firmly through both hands. Inhale, re-extend your right leg high. Drop the right hip to meet the left, squaring off the hips. Point the right big toe. Knee to nose, exhale, shift the weight forward into the hands. Cat the shoulders, drop the chin towards the chest. Inhale, re-extend your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Pause here for a moment. Cat your shoulders. Tent the right fingertips. Lift the right knee even higher, creating space. So as gently as you can, see if you can heel toe your foot through between your thumbs. Tent the palms underneath your shoulders, your back heel stays lifted. Now take some time here to create some space in your right hip, the left hip flexor. Maybe shift side to side, back and forth. You can even swivel to the outer edges of your feet, whatever feels good to you. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, return to your low lunge. Tenting the palms, inhale to our modified pyramid. Back heel stays lifted. Begin to lift your hips, pull them back. You can walk your fingertips back slightly for a little bit more support. And then if it feels okay to you, you can flex the right foot, toes towards the face. Feel free to keep a gentle bend in the knee. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Press your heart towards the toes. Then exhale, gentle hinge from your hips. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Pull the right hip back. Then exhale to fold. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Bend the right knee. Exhale, return to your low lunge. Lower your left knee. Untuck your left toes. Moving into our half splits. Inhale, slide your hips back. Stacking your hips over your left knee. Tent the palms underneath your shoulders. And then flex the right foot towards your face. Once again, in any of these positions, you can keep a gentle bend in the knee, taking the stress away from the lower back. Inhale, lift your heart, pull the collarbones forward. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. 2 more times. Inhale, pull the right hip back, left hip forward. Exhale, maybe flex the right toes towards your face. 1 more time. Inhale, lift the belly away from the thigh. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Walk your hands forward. Exhale, return to your low lunge. Tuck the back toes, lift the left knee. Plant the left hand to the inside of your right foot for a revolve low lunge. Inhale, stretch the right arm high. Press the right shoulder, or the left shoulder rather, towards the right knee. Lengthen through the top hand as you pull the right shoulder back. Lift the space behind your left knee. Imagine lengthening through the crown of your head as you press back through the left heel. Take another deep breath here. Gaze down, exhale. Frame your right foot with your palms. Stay on the tips of the fingers. Inhale, find your low lunge. Open up the chest. Gaze past your left shoulder. As you exhale, crisscross the hands. Pivot the toes towards the side of your mat for your wide-legged straddle. Tent the fingertips underneath your shoulders. Feet are parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. Rolling to the knife edges of your feet, draw the belly towards the spine. Inhale, halfway lift, firm your thighs. Exhale, gentle hinge from your hips, soften through your elbows. 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. 1 more time. Inhale, firm the thighs, pull the belly up and in. Exhale to fold. Now inhale, find your halfway lift, engaging the core. Roll to the knife edges of your feet, firm the thighs. Press the tailbone back, lengthen through the crown of your head. Begin to hover the fingertips and maybe exhale, open them wide like an airplane or hands to your hips. Press down through your feet. Inhale, flat back to rise. And then exhale, open up the arms, find your warrior 2, pivoting the right toes towards the front of your mat. Take some time here. Maybe release the arms. Do something here that opens up your shoulders. As you roll to the knife edge of your right foot, your back leg is straight and strong. Begin to stack your shoulders over your hips and then lengthen the rib cage away from the waist. Reaching through the arms, take a deep breath here. Maybe gaze past your right middle finger. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach forward as far as you can. Find length in both sides of the rib cage and then pivot. Using the right elbow or forearm to open up the right knee or thigh. Left arm can either reach high or send the palm towards the front edge of your mat. Do something here that creates space in your left shoulder. Maybe create big circles. You can find a cactus or maybe play with your half bind. Roll the top shoulder back. Rolling the right hip underneath you, continue opening up through the left hip. Wherever you are, take a deep breath here. Exhale, return to your extended side angle. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Find your reverse triangle pose. Maybe shorten your stance. You can toe heel the back foot in slightly for a little bit more stability. Stack your shoulders over the hips and then press your left hip into the right as you lengthen through the right side body. Little or no weight in the supporting hand. Press down through the soles of your feet for stability and then lift your thighs away from your knees. Lower body is solid. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, draw your arms to shoulder height. Here you can toe heel the back foot in just a little bit more, and then we'll move into our triangle. Bump your hips towards the back of the mat. Inhale, stretch the right fingertips forward as far as you can. You can always feel free to micro bend the right knee. Then once you've found your length, exhale, pivot the right hand down, left arm high. So in our triangle, it's not about reaching down, it's about actively lifting up through the left hand. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Imagine finding space in the underside of the rib cage. Take another deep breath here. Stay for the exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee. Reverse warrior, inhale, sweep the rib cage up and back. Little or no weight in the supporting hand. As you inhale, lift the right side body away from the hip. As you exhale, deepen your lunge. Relax the shoulders down away from your ears. Find length through the top fingertips. Take a deep breath here, maybe lift the gaze. Exhale, circle the hands, plant your palms, and then flow. High to low push-up, use your core. Step the right foot back to meet the left, and then flow. High to low, your own pace, your own breath. Rising on your inhalation. Lifting the hips up and back as you exhale. Adjust your feet, let yourself reset. Spread your fingers wide, take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Other side, stepping our feet together. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee open and stack. Stay here, maybe circle the ankle as you breathe into the calf and the shin. Or find big circles, creating space in your left hip, the hip flexor and the psoas. Let your head hang. You don't need to hold it up. Relaxing the back of your neck. Inhale, re-extend your left leg high. Drop your left hip to meet the right. Press through the left big toe. Knee to nose. Exhale, shift the weight forward using your strength rather than momentum. Cat the shoulders, chin to chest. Inhale, re-extend the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Pause here. Gaze forward between the thumbs. Cat your shoulders. Tent the left fingertips. Lift the left knee even higher, creating space so that as gently as you can, see if you can heel toe the foot through between the thumbs. Take your time to stack the knee over the ankle. Maybe press the right heel back. Tent the palms and then take some time here on your own to create space in the left hip, the right hip flexor. Maybe let the knee open. You can pivot side to side, moving into areas where you need to create space the most. Take one more deep breath here. Exhale, return to your low lunge. Tent the fingertips. Modified pyramid, back heel stays lifted. As you inhale, pull the hips up and back. Maybe walk the fingertips back underneath the shoulders for a little bit more support. Feel free to soften through the left knee. If it's accessible, you can flex the toes towards the face and then roll the left hip back. Invite the right hip forward so you can square off your hips. Inhale, lift the chest, pull the collarbones open. Then exhale, imagine hinging from your hips rather than your chest. 2 more times. Inhale, pull the belly towards your spine. Exhale to fold. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward, pull the left hip back. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Moving on, inhale, find your halfway lift. Bend the left knee. Exhale, return to your low lunge. Lower the right knee and tuck your right toes. Half splits. Inhale, slide your hips back as you walk the hands underneath your shoulders. Same thing here as in our modified pyramid. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Imagine that you're dragging your left heel towards you as you press the right knee forward and down. Maybe flex the toes towards your face, and then see if you can open up through the chest. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, hinge from your hips, nice and gentle. 2 more times. Inhale, pull the collarbones forward. Exhale to hinge from your hips. 1 more time. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, gentle fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk your hands forward, low lunge as you exhale. Bend the left knee. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Plant the right palm to the inside of your left foot. Begin drawing your right shoulder towards your left knee. And then inhale, stretch the left arm high. Imagine pressing through the right heel. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And then reach the left fingertips high, almost like you're lifting up and out of the shoulder. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, gaze down. Bring your hands down to frame your left foot. Rise up onto your fingertips and then return to your low lunge. Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, gaze past your right shoulder. Begin to pivot the toes towards the side as you cross one hand over the next, finding your wide-legged straddle on the other side. Tent the fingertips underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift, roll to the knife edges of your feet. As you exhale, take a side lunge towards the back of your mat, pulling your hips back, stacking your right knee over the ankle, and then flex the left toes towards the face. Inhale, come back to center, halfway lift. As you exhale, take a side lunge into the left knee to the front of your mat, flex the right toes, and then pull your hips back. 1 more time through. Inhale, find center. Exhale, lunge towards the back of your mat. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, lunge towards the front of your mat. Inhale, center. Then exhale, hinge from your hips. Inhale, find your halfway lift, engaging the core. Roll to the knife edges of your feet, firm the thighs, pull the tailbone back, reach the crown of your head forward, and then as you exhale, either open up the arms or hands to the hips. Flat back, rise. Inhale, use your core. Rise all the way up. Warrior two, as you exhale, pivot the left toes towards the front of your mat and then adjust your feet as you take time here to find your warrior two. Maybe relax the shoulders, you can circle them out, or even draw your hands to your hips. Maybe stacking your shoulders over your hips as you let the left knee open. Roll to the knife edge of your back foot so everything is active, and then lifting up from center. Reaching through the fingertips, take a deep breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach forward as far as you can, and then use your left elbow or forearm to open up the left knee. Right arm can either reach high or towards the front of your mat. Rather than dumping weight into your supporting arm, see if you can actively lift up while still supporting your upper body. Do something here that feels good for your right shoulder. Maybe circles, maybe it's movement, maybe it's a cactus or half bind. Take another deep breath here. Exhale, return to your extended side angle. Reverse triangle. Inhale, straighten the left leg, press down through your feet, lift the thighs, and then send the left palm towards the back of your mat. Bump the right hip into the left, so neutralizing the hips rather than leaning into the joint. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, invite your arms to shoulder height, and then toe heel the back foot in slightly, giving yourself a little bit more stability. Bump your hips towards the back of your mat. Gaze beyond the left middle fingertips, and then reach the arm forward as far as you can, just like you did in your extended side angle. Once you can't reach any farther, pivot the left arm down, right arm high. Maybe pressing the fingertips into your shin or even your thigh. Imagine stacking your top shoulder over the bottom. Lengthen through the crown of your head, maybe gaze down, out, or up, whatever feels good on your neck. Take a deep breath here. Bend your left knee, exhale. Reverse warrior, inhale, relax your left toes. Press down through the heel and the ball of your left foot. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, lift the rib cage. Exhale, circle the hands. Chaturanga, plant your palms. Step the left foot back to meet the right using your core, and then flow high to low, your pace, your breath. Inhale to rise, pull the shoulders back. Tuck your toes, exhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, lower onto your knees, grab a sip of water, towel off. How are you feeling? Good? Thumbs up? Okay, awesome. So that's our sun bee flow. We'll put all of that together, one breath to one movement. Whenever you're ready, we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. Let yourself reset. Let yourself come back to your breath. Spread your fingers wide. Let your heart melt back and down as you lift the hips. Take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. Stepping our feet together, finding our flow. Inhale, stretch the right leg high. Knee to nose, exhale, chin to chest, weight in the hands. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, gaze forward, heel toe the foot through, find your low lunge, take your time. Rise up onto your fingertips, your back heel stays lifted. Modified pyramid, inhale, lift the hips up and back, maybe flex the right toes towards the face. Fold, exhale, hinge from your hips as you draw the right hip back. Inhale, halfway lift. Low lunge, exhale, bend your right knee, lower the left knee, and tuck your toes. Half splits, inhale, pull the hips back, flex the right toes towards the face, lift the heart. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Walk your hands forward, exhale, return to your low lunge, tuck the left toes, lift the knee, plant the left hand to the inside of your right foot. Right arm high, inhale for your revolve low lunge. Gaze down, exhale, frame your right foot, tent the fingertips. Inhale, lift your chest. Gaze past your left shoulder, exhale, crisscross the hands, toes forward, find your halfway lift, tent the palms. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale to your halfway lift, firm the core. Exhale, either hands to the hips or airplane the arms. Flat back, inhale to rise. Warrior two, exhale, pivot the right toes forward, find your lunge, settle in. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, extended side angle, reach the right arm forward. Breathing into both sides of the rib cage. Reverse triangle, inhale, straighten both legs, press down through your feet, firm the thighs. Exhale, draw your arms to shoulder height, toe heel the back foot in slightly. Bump your hips back, reach the right arm forward as you inhale, find length. Exhale, triangle, pivot the right arm down, left arm high. Stay here, inhale, actively lengthen through the top hand. Bend your right knee, exhale, return to your lunge. Reverse warrior, inhale, sweep the rib cage up and back, let your lower body stay still. Exhale, flow, high to low, chaturanga. Windmill the arms, plant your palms, moving with intention and purpose. Let yourself feel every moment, every breath. Inhale to rise, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Adjust your feet, pause here. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Other side, step your feet together. Inhale, lift the left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, chin to chest, cat the shoulders. Inhale, re-extend your left leg high. Gaze forward, exhale, heel toe the foot through, low lunge, back heel stays lifted, tent the palms, spread the left toes. Inhale, modified pyramid, pull the hips back, flex the left toes towards the face. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. Half lift, inhale, find length in your spine. Bend the left knee, exhale, low lunge. Lower the right knee, untuck your toes. Half splits, inhale, slide your hips back. Tent the palms underneath the shoulders, flex the left toes. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk your hands forward, low lunge as you exhale. Bend the left knee, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Plant the right hand to the inside of your left foot. Left arm high, inhale, revolve, low lunge, lengthen through the fingertips, press back to your right heel. Gaze down, exhale, frame your left foot, tent the fingertips. Inhale, lift your chest. Gaze past your right shoulder, exhale, crisscross your hands, pivot the toes, find your wide-legged halfway lift. Tent the palms underneath your shoulders, take a deep breath in. Fold as you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Engaging your core, exhale, either hands to the hips or open up the arms. Press down to your feet, inhale, flat back to rise. Warrior two, exhale, pivot the left toes forward. Take a deep breath in, breathe into your fingertips. Extended side angle, exhale, reach the left arm forward. Maybe gaze up towards your top hand. Reverse triangle, inhale, straighten both legs. Sweep the left palm towards the back of the house. Exhale, draw your arms to shoulder height, toe heel your back foot in slightly. Spread the toes wide, bump your hips back. Inhale, stretch the left arm forward. Exhale to pivot triangle, Trikonasana. Left arm down, right arm high. Inhale, lengthen through the right hand. Bend the left knee, exhale. Reverse warrior, inhale, sweep the rib cage up and back, press down through your left foot. Exhale, flow, chaturanga, high to low. Windmill the hands, plant the palms, spread your fingers wide. Step your left foot back to meet the right, and then flow. Your pace, your breath. Inhale to rise. Exhale, tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, rise up onto your toes. Bottom of your exhalation, gaze forward. Bend your knees nice and deep. Step your feet to the wide edges of your mat, heels in. Turn the toes out for your yogi squat. I'm just gonna turn to face you. So heels in, turning the toes out. Begin to ease the hips in between your heels. Feel free to shift and move. Rock side to side. Keep the feet spread wide. Relax your toes. Invite your elbows to the insides of your knees or thighs. And then press your palms together. As you inhale, lift your heart to meet your thumbs. Let the elbows open wide. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Maybe lower the gaze towards your fingertips and then see if you can roll to the knife edges of your feet. Maybe even play with lifting the big toes or maybe lifting all the toes as you root down through the heels and the balls of your feet. Working on our twist, take a deep breath here. Exhale, drop your right shoulder to the inside of the right knee or thigh and then place the right hand underneath your face. Inhale, stretch the left arm high. Maybe gaze up towards the top hand. Feel free to stay here. If you would like to work on a half bind, turn the thumb away from you so the palm faces the back, and then wrap the top arm around your back. Resting the back of the hand to the outside of your hip, and then roll the left shoulder back. You can stay here or maybe play with your full bind. Take your right forearm, wrap it around your right shin, and then once again, place the back of your hand to the outside of the right hip. See if you can begin to spiral your heart towards the sky. Your fingertips don't have to touch or lock. Opening up through the chest and the shoulders. Take another deep breath here. Exhale, slowly unwind. Bring your hands back to center. Press the palms together. Inhale, lift your heart, neutralize your spine. Open mouth, exhale. Other side, drop your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee as low as you can, and then maybe even use that shoulder to press the knee open. Left hand underneath your face for a little bit of balance. Inhale, stretch the right arm high. Spread your fingers wide, actively lift up through the fingertips. Feel free to stay here if you'd like to practice your half bind. Turn your palm away from you, finding an inward rotation of the upper arm. Wrap the arm around your back and then rest the back of your hand to the outside of your left hip. Maybe pause here as you pull the right shoulder back. Maybe invite the left forearm to wrap around the shin. Back of the hand rests to the outside of your left hip. Both palms are open, facing the back of the house. And then maybe lift the gaze. Maybe begin to turn your collarbones towards the sky, opening up through the chest and shoulders as well as the hips. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, slowly release, unwind, bring the hands back to center. Inhale, lift your heart to meet your thumbs. Open mouth, exhale. Plant your palms shoulder width distance apart. So we'll take some time here to work on an arm balance or an inversion of your choice. If you want to play with your crow pose, or if none of that sounds good and you just want to rest in your child's pose, feel free. So if you're working on your crow pose, your fingers are spread wide all the way to the webbing, kind of like imagining them like starfish. Spread as wide as you can. Rotate the palms outward slightly so your index fingers point forward and are parallel with each other. Once you plant the palms, roll the eyes of your elbows forward so you can bend the elbows straight back rather than letting them bow out. We want to make sure that our joints are stacked for more stability. From here, lifting the hips, rising up onto the feet, and then walk the feet towards the wrists as much as you need to. Bend the elbows straight back, creating a shelf with your triceps. You have two options. Lifting the heels, imagine elevating your hips, and then tucking your knees as close to the armpits as you can as you create a shelf with your triceps, resting your shins on top of them. Finding that connection first, maybe grip with your finger pads, begin to shift the weight forward. Maybe your crow pose is right here. Maybe hovering the toes. You also have the option of hugging your knees to the outsides of the triceps, and then squeezing the knees inward. Take the next 3 to 5 breaths to play. And then whenever you're ready, we'll meet back in our child's pose or a resting pose of your choice. Grab a sip of water, towel off. Let yourself reset. Relax the muscles of your face. Relax your shoulders. Maybe gently rock the hips side to side. Take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. One more time, take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, begin to rise up to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Adjust your feet. Take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, rise up onto your toes. Bottom of your exhalation, gaze forward, bend your knees, lightly step, hop, or float top of the mat. Let your big toes come to touch. Inhale for your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. Moving on from here, inhale, find a halfway lift. Place your weight in your right foot, spread the toes wide. As you inhale, float the left leg towards the sky, kind of like a modified standing split or a modified warrior 3. Lengthening through the crown of your head, press back through the left heel, and then drop your left hip to meet the right. Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, take a big step back with your left foot. Return to your low lunge. Walk the hands back in line with the shoulders and then adjust your stance as much as you need to. Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, invite the right hand to the inside of your left foot and then toe heel the right foot all the way to the top right corner of your mat. You can stay active with the back knee lifted. You can lower the left knee, maybe untuck the toes. If you'd like, play with rolling to the knife edge of your right foot. Let the right knee open as you create a little bit more space to let your hips spill forward. Feel free to stay here. Maybe lower onto your forearms and your elbows. Let your head hang. And then breathe into your right hip, the left hip flexor. Maybe find a gentle sway of your hips. Soften the muscles of your face. Let every inhalation create space. Let every exhalation soften, deepen your shape. Take another deep breath here. Exhale, slow breath out. Inhale, slowly begin to rise back up onto your palms. Toe heel your right foot back to center. Let your hands frame your foot. And then continue to toe heel your right foot all the way to the left side of your mat for your half pigeon. Tent the palms. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the left knee as you create space to settle your hips down. Right foot stays flexed to protect your knee. And then take some time here to find some space. If you're tight in the hips, especially since it's the morning, we haven't moved a whole lot, maybe take a little extra time here to begin to square off the hips. You can gaze past the right shoulder, let the left hip move forward, right hip drops. And then feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like, or if you feel ready, you can begin to walk the hands forward. And then maybe take this in layers. First lowering on to the forearms or your elbows, creating some softness here. Then if you'd like, maybe opening up the elbows, bringing the heart further down, maybe resting your forehead on the backs of your hands, or maybe resting your cheek on one side or the other. Back toes can stay tucked or untucked, your choice. And then let yourself just observe here. Noticing the sensations in your body, as well as acknowledging anything that you might be feeling emotionally or mentally, without judgment and without expectations. Taking one more deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, slowly begin to rise up onto your palms. Tuck your back toes, press down through the hands, three-legged dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, shake it out. If you want to flip your dog here, find your wild thing, feel free. Otherwise, just take some time to let the blood flow back into your right hip, creating a little bit of space, a little bit of movement. And then we'll meet back in our downward facing dog whenever you're ready. Take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, rise up onto your toes. Bottom of your exhalation, gaze forward, bend your knees. Lightly step, hop, or float. Top of the mat, big toes touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale, tent the fingertips, find your halfway lift. Spread the left toes out nice and wide. And then inhale, float the right leg. Flex the foot, press through the heel, and then lengthen through the crown of your head. Maybe soften through the left knee. Drop the right hip to meet the left. Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, take a big, big step back with your right foot. And then see if you can hover using your strength rather than gravity to set the foot down. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, invite the right hand to the inside, left hand rather, to the inside of your left foot, and then begin to toe heel your left foot all the way to the top left corner of your mat. You can stay here, maybe creating some space. If you'd like, you can lower the back knee and tuck your toes. Perhaps roll to the knife edge of your left foot. Let the knee open, creating a little bit more space to let your hips move forward. Feel free to stay on your hands, or if it's accessible and comfortable, you can lower onto your forearms and your elbows. Let your head hang as you send your breath into your hips, your right hip flexor. Relax your shoulders. You can find stillness or maybe play with a little bit of movement. Let every inhalation create space in your hips. With every exhalation, maybe let your hips spill forward and down. Take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, slowly begin to rise up onto your palms. Toe heel your left foot to the center of the mat between your hands, and then continue to toe heel your left foot all the way to the right side of your mat, and then begin to set yourself up for your half pigeon. Tent the palms, tuck the back toes, lift the right knee, and then begin to ease your hips down. Spend some time here, creating space in your left hip, the right hip flexor. You can shift side to side as you begin to warm up, squaring off the hips. Maybe gaze past your left shoulder. Feel a nice stretch sensation in your right hip flexor, the right side body. Coming back to center, stay here for as long as you would like. Keep your left toes flexed to protect the knee, and then begin to settle in, settle down. Stay connected with your breath, maintaining your long, slow inhalations. Staying calm through your exhalations. Let your hips do whatever they want to as you stay connected with your breath. Giving the opportunity for your body to open up the way it needs to and the time that it needs to. Finding softness in the muscles of your face. Relax your hands, relax your shoulders. Noticing any areas of tension where you don't need to hold. Then see if you can send your breath to these areas as well. Take another deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, slowly begin to rise up onto your palms. Tuck your back toes, plant the hands. Inhale, three-legged dog, sweep the left leg high. Then exhale, bend the knee, shake it out. If you'd like, you can flip your dog here. Take as much time as you need to, then we'll settle back to our downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, lower onto your knees. Cross the ankles behind you, take a seat. And then extend the legs in front of you as you roll all the way down onto your back. If you'd like, you can simply release, or if you'd like another little bit of core work, point the toes. Press the hands, reach the arms forward, curl the chin towards your chest, and then slowly roll all the way down onto your back. Hugging your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, let the arms open wide like a T, or bend the elbows, find cactus. Draw another deep breath in. Exhale, let your knees fall to either side for your spinal twist. Feel free to make any adjustments, stacking the hips, stacking the knees. Maybe play with straightening through the top leg, or perhaps turn your gaze away from your knees. Invite both shoulder blades to rest back onto your mat. So if one shoulder seems a little bit lifted, see if you can slide the opposite shoulder blade out from underneath you, and then invite the other shoulder blade to rest back down. Let your top leg grow heavy. Relax the palms of your hands and maybe close your eyes here as you begin to draw your awareness inward at the end of your practice. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale slowly, invite the knees to return back to center. You can spend some time here to neutralize, or as you exhale, let your knees fall to the other side. Take your time here to set yourself up, stacking the hips, stacking the knees, maybe allowing the gaze to fall in the opposite direction. Maybe begin to soften the gaze or even close your eyes here. Inviting both shoulder blades to anchor back down. Feeling a nice stretch, perhaps from fingertip to fingertip across your chest. Begin to let go of effort. Begin to allow your breath and gravity to begin to take over from here. Taking one more deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. As you inhale slowly, let the knees return back to center. Take a moment here to play with any other movement, any other pose or shape that would help you feel complete in your practice. Maybe simply hugging the knees into your chest, maybe finding your happy baby, letting the knees open wide. Perhaps taking a shoulder stand into plow, into deaf hands, or a bridge or a wheel. So there's so many variations, so many options. There's one that will feel perfect for you. Maybe that's spending extra time in your final Shavasana. Take as many breaths, as many moments as you need to. And then whenever you feel ready, begin to find the space, the shape and the support that you would like for your final Shavasana. Whatever variation that would feel good to you, feel yourself begin to soften. Then we'll close out our practice just as we began with 3 cleansing breaths. First, open mouth, exhale to release your breath. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. 2 more times, take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale, let your breath go. One more time, let this be your deepest breath yet. Inhale to fill up. Pause at the top, take just one more sip. Then open mouth, exhale. Release control of your breath. Let yourself rest. Final Shavasana, just rest. Slowly, gently let yourself begin to reawaken. Begin by deepening your breath, letting it be the tether that draws you back. Maybe inviting movement as you wiggle your fingers and your toes, or perhaps circle your ankles and your wrists. Feel free to rest here for as long as you would like, or if it would feel good on your next inhalation, stretch your arms up overhead. Draw your legs together, point your toes. Take a full body stretch. Draw a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, bend the knees into your chest. Exhale, let yourself gently roll to either side, right or left this morning. Letting your shoulders, hips, and your knees stack. Use your bottom arm as a pillow. Let the ground support you here as you begin to receive all the benefits of your practice. Taking a new and fresh start to your day. Take a deep breath here. Open mouth, exhale. On your next inhalation, with your eyes still closed or the gaze soft, slowly, gently use your hands to guide yourself back up to a comfortable seated position, whatever shape or form that may take for you. Resting your palms gently on your knees or thighs, or you can unite the palms, connect your thumbs to heart center. Together, let's take an open mouth exhalation to release our breath. Draw a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale to release. Inhale, we lift our thumbs to our third eye, center of the forehead. The light within me truly recognizes, honors, and celebrates the light that shines in you, Kristen. Thank you so much for sharing your morning, sharing your energy. Bowing down as we seal in our practice together. Namaste.